Coming up this afternoon, presidential aspirants of the New Patriotic Party, Kennedy Ajapan, to meet the disciplinary committee today at midday over what has been summoned by the party. In business news this afternoon, global fuel prices tipped to remain stable for the rest of the year. That's according to Fitch Solutions. And on the foreign front, Libya's foreign minister suspended and accused of treason after informally meeting with her Israeli counterpart, a move which sparked protests in North African country. We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you in the next few minutes if you stay with us, plus some sports news and entertainment news as well. The bulletin is also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. A reminder that we're live too on DSTV channel 279. Now, the New Patriotic Party is to summon one of its flag-bearer aspirants, Kennedy Ajapan, before the party's disciplinary committee. This fellow's accusations he made in a viral video during the special delegates conference on Saturday. Christian Yale has more in this report.
In this country, President Akufo, member will show down. Vice President, member will show down.
A visibly angry Kennedy Ajapan did not mince words when he threatened to give President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia a showdown.
So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to shut them. What do you embassy? What do you embassy?
It was obviously one that would not go unnoticed, especially after he vowed to expose the two leaders over an aggressive attack on his agent in the NPP Superdelegate Congress. But the NPP says his actions amount to a violation of a provision in the party's constitution and also a potential misconduct on his part. Kennedy Ajapan is therefore expected before the party's disciplinary committee to provide responses and details to the threats made in the viral video. Kennedy Ajapan has qualified for the next phase of the NPP's presidential race after coming in second.
Yes, me challenge President Akufo-Addo anytime.
The NPP has meanwhile also summoned 4 other individuals, including a member of the Alan Kyerematen team, Hobson Adoye, before the disciplinary committee.
Well, let's cross over to the NPP headquarters where my colleague Judith Alshitando is for some updates on whether or not the flag-bearer aspirant of the NPP, Kennedy Ajapan, has arrived there. Judith, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you. What can you report? Have you cited the presence of Kennedy Ajapan there?
Right, and so Crosby have not yet cited his presence, but we know that the 9-member elections committee of the New Patriotic Party is already meeting kindly here at the NPP headquarters. We know that they have at least 2 agendas. One is to present reports on the outcome of the Super Delegate Conference that occurred last Saturday. And of course, the highlight of this would be for flag-bearer aspirant Kennedy Ajapan to come and meet with the disciplinary committee. We are told that others, including Hobson Adoye, would also be meeting with the disciplinary committee, but we do not know when theirs would occur. But we know that he's supposed to appear here today at midday, and he's not yet been cited, but we are waiting to see what the outcome will be and when, of course, he would get to the NPP headquarters. So, yes, we are here at the NPP headquarters, and we're waiting for what the outcome of the meeting here would be.
So, do we know whether or not all 10 aspirants will be there, or some have already reported there?
Right, we have not cited the aspirants yet, but we know that the 9-member committee that is made up of Michael Quay as well as the others are already here meeting, but the 10 aspirants are not here kindly. So we are hoping that Kennedy Ajapan will make his way here to the NPP headquarters in any moment soon.
Judith, thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us here on TV3. In our subsequent bulletins, we bring you details of that all-important meeting at the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party, where we understand the election committee is meeting all the flag-bearer aspirants after Saturday's election. Well, still on the outcome of the Special Delegates Congress, political scientist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampel, says the future of the New Patriotic Party's presidential race will definitely come with uncertain possibilities. He believes the delegates who participated in the election on Saturday can change their minds towards any direction, urging the aspirants not to be complacent. According to him, Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, and Alan Kyerematen must step up their campaigns to get to the grassroots. He, however, adds that the delegates at the grassroots level should not be influenced by the outcome of Saturday's Super Delegates Congress, but must be allowed to select a flag bearer based on their conscience. Well, MPP flag bearer hopeful Kwabena J. Agyapong could not make it to the first 5 in the party's Special Delegates Congress on Saturday. He had 6 votes at the end of the polls on the day. He's joining us for some reactions towards the conduct of the elections and his performance. Mr. Agyapong, thank you so much for joining us. What is your overall impression of the election on Saturday? Let's start with that.
Well, the conduct of the elections, in my view, I think went on reasonably well. It was a simple walk-in process. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the Elections Committee of the NPP for listening to some of the proposals and the advice that we offered as candidates and during our interactions with them. So apart from a few slippages here and there, I think by and large, this was a very good event. Everybody went about their voting, you know, and at the end of the day, once the majority have taken a decision, as Democrats, we respect the decision. Unfortunately, as you said, I was expecting to be in the top 5. I thought I had backed myself to be 4th at least.
Right. It brings me to the question, what was your candid assessment of your chances before the election, and how does that compare with the outcome?
Yes, I think I thought I would make the top 5. I've had a history of long, dedicated service to this political tradition, and been elected as General Secretary before. And I know that my roots are very deep in this political tradition. But, you know, in elections, you have to prepare yourself for all possible outcomes. And you have to emotionally tough, what they refer to as emotional intelligence. So you should always prepare yourself for any outcome. And therefore, I took it on my chin, on board, although I was expecting to be part of it. It's fine. Once I am happy, all the reports I got from my agents around were quite simply everything went on according to plan. So I think as a political tradition, once we've been able to do that, this is just the first step. The first step of selecting the top 5. Now I think we have 6. The party, I'm sure, will eventually resolve that problem. It shouldn't be such a big matter, I think. And then in November, the full electoral college of 200,000 people will decide who our candidate eventually becomes. All 10 of us, starting the thing, had a vision to lead this country. I campaign on my New Dawn platform because I think in Ghana right now, we need to prick our own conscience, to recalibrate our values, to change the way we're doing things, and our application of political party activity. Public service should really mean what it means, service to the public. And so I was looking to bring this difficult discussion to the fore, and I think I enjoyed the opportunity to go around the country, interface with the party people, have a dialogue with them, and advise them accordingly. At the end of the day, people make a decision based on a plethora of reasons, and you can never tell what exactly animates their choice. But that has happened. At the end of the day, I'm an eternal Democrat. I didn't make the cut, disappointed, but I'm happy, I'm okay. I mean, I'm emotionally strong to deal with it and carry on.
Some say your performance is partly due to your past with the party and your campaign rhetoric against the establishment and the Akufo-Addo administration. What's your response to that?
No, it wasn't rhetoric. I mean, I'm very frank and honest, very frontal. I think we should try and build a new Ghanaian, a new dimension, a new dawn of our politics to usher in a politics that is based on what I call the triple S: service, sacrifice, and selflessness. And that even if you are a member of a party, you should have the capacity to sometimes disagree or you know, have your own reservations about what is going on, and we should be able to call a spade a spade. I think, you see, political parties are vehicles for development of our country.
Right.
They are not end in themselves. And so, yes, this blind loyalty when you think that you have a feel that something is happening that is untoward or doesn't endure to the benefit of the country, we should create a new culture here that politicians should be able to speak up internally.
Right.
As far back as 1990, 1980, the PMP members of parliament threw out the budget of Dr. Liman. It's happened before. So if I'm critical of some of the economic policies or some of the decisions of the president, I think that should be allowed and it should be encouraged.
Mr. Agyapong, there's a tie at the moment, and one candidate needs to join the first four to make the top five going into the November 4 polls. From where you sit, are we likely to see you rendering your support to any of the two candidates? We're talking about Mr. Boakye Agyarko and Addai-Nimoh.
Oh, I mean, look, right now I'm taking it easy, relaxing. I've been speaking to all the candidates who have really made their cut. I mean, I had a chat with my big brother, Alan Chomating. I've spoken to Kennedy Agyapong. I put in a call to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, just congratulating him for his first round victory. I think I want to associate with anybody who feels on the same wavelength as myself, at least a portion of my 6-point plan. I think in Ghana right now, we need some monumental changes in the direction that we are going. I've talked about downsizing government, and I believe in that. A country of 31 million people, I think we can have a lean, meaner government that is efficient and effective. And if somebody shares that vision with me, I'll be prepared to work with that person, support that person. And also the fact that there has to be a drastic cut in expenditure.
Right.
And then the waste in the system. I mean, it's all there. I think I have a 6-point plan, and also to enforce law, order, and discipline. So that is, for me, is important. With the two who are tied, I think sometimes, although we have the National Council is meeting on Wednesday, and I'm a member of it. If I have the opportunity, I would suggest that they should allow them to join. I mean, 6 is not different from 5. So if they want to continue, if they make that decision to continue with the battle, then having 6 is not. After all, the whole idea behind pruning down was because of the massive numbers that we saw in 2007 when I was the youngest of the 17 aspirants. And this time we had 10, which in some of us, our view, we thought we could have allowed us to go straight on. But the National Council thought differently. Let's have the super delegates. We've had it. Now 4 are clean through. There's another 2. I think they should be allowed, since they are sharing the 5th position. They are sharing the 5th. And if you are somebody who loves sports and you've been following the ongoing World Athletics Championships, the pole gold medal was shared between 2. The bronze medal in the high jump was shared. They all had it. So I think they are both 5th. They are both 5th, and they should be allowed to go through. There's no need, in my view, humble opinion, to waste all the money mobilizing all these 900 people, getting the Electoral Commission to set up voting stations just to select one. I think sometimes we are the people who make the constitutions, and the constitutions are made for the parties.
Right. Mr. Agyapong, briefly from you before you take leave of us, although you may not have been directly involved, but I'm sure you've seen the viral video where Kennedy Agyapong, another flag bearer hopeful, was seen on a phone conversation, and he was visibly angry and mentioning the name of the vice president as well as the president, that he was promising some sort of a showdown. From where you said, where does that happening, what does that happening communicate to you?
Well, I don't want to make a comment on things that the party is seized with right now. I think the party has issued a public statement in that matter. What I want to admonish and advise on is that the party is supreme and that we should work for the cohesion of this political tradition. My advice has always been, during our campaigns, we should be very measured in what we say, very factual, and so that we can have a united party. We need that. I do believe that the NPP has the numbers, that when we are united and the the grassroots are animated and they are rejuvenated, then we give ourselves a better chance of victory. We enhance our possibility of winning that elusive third electoral victory in 2024. So that's what I can say for now. I want to encourage all the supporters of the various aspirants. I mean, some of the language I have seen, especially on platforms, it's a bit intemperate and it's a bit harsh. We don't need to poison the atmosphere. We aspirants, we know each other. We are friendly with each other. And it's just an attempt to select one of us. Eventually, it has to be one of us. It cannot be all of us. You know, so supporters and candidates like myself, we should speak with such decorum, you know, respect for one another. You know, the language has to be good. It has to be inspirational to encourage the younger people. But yes, in politics is all about a divergence of views. And that's why the media, I would have expected that you would have offered us an opportunity to have a debate, the 10 of us, before we got into this superdelegates.
Right. Ghanaians
need and they deserve to know what is on our minds, what our policy platforms are, what our priorities are, what our differences are, our views on national issues, and many others. That did not happen. Why? Right. I kept challenging that. I thought to give the Ghanaian people an opportunity to make a solid decision.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program. Kwabena Agyapong is a flag bearer hopeful of the New Patriotic Party who unfortunately could not make it as part of the top 5. We're still staying with the issues coming from the NPP Super Delegates Conference. Some flag bearer aspirants of the party have been reacting to the outcome of the just-ended Special Delegates Congress, which saw 4 aspirants making it onto the next stage of the contest, with a runoff expected to be held between Addai Nimoh and Boakye Agyarko, who both obtained 9 votes in the elections. The former Energy Minister, Boakye Agyarko, in a statement from his office, described information making rounds of his stepping down from the race as false. The statement further says Boakye Agyarko is ready for the upcoming runoff scheduled for Saturday, September 2. Meanwhile, former Trade and Industry Minister Alan Kyerematen, one of the leading contenders of the flag bearership of the NPP, he has expressed his gratitude to the delegates of the Special Electoral College for selecting him as one of the presidential aspirants to contest the November 4 primaries. The flag bearer hopeful says his campaign coordination team is currently analyzing the result of the Special Electoral College election, and in the course of the week, he will deliver a public broadcast on the way forward for his campaign. Now, one more aspirant, we're talking about Kennedy Agyapong, who also in a statement has urged the delegates to sustain the gains made as he hopes to win the flag bearership slot on November 4 and ultimately the national elections on December 2024. Well, political researcher and poster Professor Smart Sapon has said complacency costs Alan Kyerematen votes in the Ashanti region. To him, any possible support from the other non-performing candidates for the former Trade and Industry Minister is now complicated. He has been engaging my colleague William Evans Inkum on that subject. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. We have also the bulletin live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. And we're still talking about the fallout from the NPP's Super Delegates Congress that has seen some 4 individuals making it to the next stage of the competition, where the election will be held on November 4. At the moment, on Saturday, September 2, we're anticipating a runoff election organized by the party between 2 individuals, Boakye Agyarko and Addai Nimoh. We're still on the NPP Special Delegates Congress. We'll hit the streets of Accra to find out which candidates impressed or shocked many, the more looking at the results of the end of polls on Saturday.
Baumia baba na wabetoa de nanado ye na so na Baumia ye nema bebre amemi say minim say implementation of Ghana card nomne say digital systems eno eboa ma corruption more na bafom.
Baumia is the best candidate for the NPP. He has done a lot. He has helped reduce corruption through digitalization system.
The expected no Kennedy Japan. Omuya dear cra or no neighbor. If we say Yahoo dear Akufo-Addo ne Bawumia aye. Oma yebi obi nkaso mu yebi. Na emo say Ghana no de hia obia or can obeye.
We have seen what Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have done. What we need now is someone to fulfill his promises.
Honorable Ken, me pobi o kan straightforward. On fa bibi ensi. Ye pe leaders are Bawumia dey say hu no ni Akufo-Addo say hu de obetimbe.
Kennedy is the best bet for the party. He is honest.
Say we are seeing corner omadi ehwamone die. Nyame anim ne kure ni mesre pa say Ghana for monto abanama Kennedy Japan. No more maka ni nyina de obi ani wo beboae. Because vice president by the obekika ye nyina so we nya akwanya na akwanya be biom no say pe.
With the current state of the country, we need Kennedy Japan.
Obi ne ne piano ti koma ne ko badwamu. Nti anuanom Ghana for me de mobro nsre mo. Monto abanama Kennedy Japan mayen no meboa yen.
Well, political researcher and pollster Professor Smart Sapin was said complacency cost Alan Kojo Tremantin votes in the Ashanti region. To him, any possible support from the other non-performing candidates for the former Trade and Industry Minister is now complicated. He has been engaging TV3's William Evans Inkum.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia scored 100% in one of the region northeast, to be specific, and then you see the votes coming down from 100% to 94% in northern, 86% in upper east, 82% in Ashanti, 75% in Bono, down to his least performance was in Ahafo, 43%. Then Central Region 46%, Greater Accra 50%. And for all the regions that he did the least, for example, Ahafo, when he was doing 43% in Ahafo, Kennedy Japan was doing 33%. It tells you Ken is the biggest contender of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in Ahafo. Election is a start afresh. In my view, no election is a continuum or a continuation of a previous history. So I think the team felt there's a certain history that they are going to continue. But elections are an all-new activity. It starts from zero.
Lead up to the Special Delegate Congress, there were rumors that there's a possibility of the other 9 candidates coming together to maybe support one particular person, or 8 coming together to support one against the quote-unquote the establishment candidate. Now, the very suspects appears not to have done so well in the Super Delegate Congress. Do you see a complication of quote-unquote an agenda, or it can still materialize going into November 4?
Yeah, the outcome of last Saturday's election has made the pairing a little complicated. So people were of the view that Alan is supposed to be the leader of the 9. So those who were thinking some 9 will come together, or 8 will come together to back one, were going to all come together and back Alan. Maybe based on seniority or those things that would have been considered. But now, those who did not form alliance before Saturday are out of the thinking. Yes, it would be good if someone like Kwabena Japan is part of your campaign going into November 4th. But it will not be that he is bringing on a certain 9. I said earlier that now they are all starting from zero. Even Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't have a certain 629. They are starting from zero.
Well, from the NPP, we move to the camp of the NDC, where the newly appointed Director of Legal Affairs of the party, Godwin Edudzi Tamaklo, has outlined his intentions, including safeguarding NDC members of parliament from legal actions. In an interview with TV3, the lawyer said his intent to utilize all legal avenues to compel the Electoral Commission to decentralize the process for the district-level elections.
What the party leadership have decided to do, with the support and blessings of the flag bearer, is to come out with appointments of leaders for the last leg of the campaign, the 1.5 years left, elections are about laws. And so basically what the legal directorate is going to do will be marshalling all the energies within our legal front towards election 2024. And we are very much determined to win this election. And in winning the election, we need to appreciate the rules and how we have to use the rules to our advantage.
Beyond that, what new policies or directives will you be bringing onto the fore of the Legal Affairs Directorate of the NDC?
Some of these are strategies that you don't discuss in the open. Already there are a few things that we've discussed in chambers.
Personally for you, what will you be paying much attention to?
There's supposed to be limited registration exercise, right? The Electoral Commission, applying the same law, is saying that they will only limit the elections, or the registration to only the district offices. We will explore all the available legal, channels to ensure that we'll get an outcome that will allow the election to be more decentralized. We want to ensure that all our MPs are duly protected within the confines of our law, and we'll definitely do that.
Away from that, the state attorney has requested for time to file for witness statement in the case of a police inspector who shot and killed his girlfriend in Kumasi. Family and friends of the deceased who massed up at the High Court to observe proceedings are hopeful that perpetrators would be punished as required by law.
For the third time here at the Kumasi High Court, the case involving a police officer who is standing trial for alleged murder of his girlfriend has been adjourned. This time, the state attorney requested for more time to enable them file for witness statements as part of the case management conference. The presiding judge, Rosemary Bantosu, granted the request and adjourned the case to September 19. Family and friends of the victim, Majua, who stormed the court, are confident that at the end of the day, justice will be served. I've observed that the judge is handling the proceedings well. I'm certain that the guilty will be punished. Someone cannot just take away the life of another without facing any punishment. Even the Bible says, the one who lives by the sword dies by the sword. We know the judge and the lawyers are doing their part. We just pray that justice be served. Inspector Ahmed Chumesi was arrested on April 23 for shooting his girlfriend multiple times. He has been charged with murder. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Now, the Ghana Water Company has disclosed that it is unable to account for 57% of water produced due to illegal connections. To reduce incidents of non-revenue water, the water company has begun to clamp down on households with illegal connections. We'll bring you that story later in our subsequent bulletins. This is still Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. We're going for a break. We're back with more stories after this. Stay with us.
We're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me kwan point no mo hwe me modam no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me nu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Johnson sema na enkoyie empaso na maye mre nyina na magina sabema na me no bifie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiambofo, and William Asiedu. Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
Are you a great FIFA player? Do you think you can beat anyone and be the very best in Ghana? The Warmer Plus Esports Festival is here to give you an experience. Join us at the forecourt of TV3. It will be a battle for supremacy in FIFA. Come around, let's smash it on the table tennis, football, and a snooker table. Kick about with family and friends. Music, food, and many more.
To run it through, Griezmann! Oh, it's there! And he has won FIFA World Cup.
So join us on this ride. It is the Warmer Plus Esports Festival, happening on 2nd September 2023. Powered by 3 Sports.
Ghana coming out again, the same squad. For the ball, he's got it! Throw it down, King!
Sports Station, Mondays, 9 p.m. on TV3.
Sports Station is brought to you by Betway, Nesta Mouthwash.
Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Welcome back to the broadcast. The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament is holding a public sitting at Tamale in the northern region. Some heads of tertiary schools are expected to appear before the committee to answer some questions. Joining us is our northern regional correspondent, Christopher Mwako, to tell us more. Chris, thank you so much for your time with us on the program. What are the key issues being raised and what are being the responses of the school authorities? Chris, if you could unmute your microphone, I'll be appreciative.
Okay, so can you hear me now, Crosby?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so 2 schools, that is the Dr. Hilal Liman Technical University and the Bolga Polytechnic have so far appeared before the committee. And one issue that stands out for the two is payment of unearned allowances to staff who were on leave or steady leave. And so the committee has been finding out from the two institutions how they've been able to deal with that situation, especially retrieving some monies from the supposed individuals who went on steady leave with pay. And for the Dr. Hila Liman Technical University, they have been saying that one has been paying to Yoko, and they have been giving them details of the payment. But as it stands now, the person is still paying. And for Bolga Polytechnic as well, payments are being made and they are taking reports from Yoko. And the other issue has to also do with they have failed to recover most of the monies that the Auditor General's report has indicted them on. And so the sitting is still ongoing, and more institutions are expected to join the sitting today.
Chris, thank you. Christopher Moko is our Northern Regional correspondent. Now, back in the capital, former NPP Northern Regional Chairman Da Bugri Nabu has confirmed the content of a leaked audio tape that is the subject of an ongoing parliamentary inquiry. The audio tape has voices of persons reportedly plotting to remove the IGP, Dr. George Akuffo Dampare. Chief Bugri Nabu indicated at the committee that indeed his voice is on the tape and that the said meeting took place in his office at Osu with a certain Commander Sari and Commissioner Mensah. Members of the five-member committee set up by the Speaker to investigate the content of the audio tape have been interrogating Bugri Nabu at the committee's hearing. Let's speak with Duke Mensah Poku, who is joining us live for some updates. Duke, thank you so much for joining us. What more can you report on this matter?
Okay, because I tell you that maybe about three things mainly, Crosby. First of all, the fact that Chief Daniel Bugri Nabu has authenticated the content of this leaked audio tape to the committee chaired by Samuel Atacha. In fact, he says that it is his voice that is on that tape, and in that conversation, he's heard having a conversation with a senior police officer, commissioner of police for that matter. He calls him COP Mensah, and a commander of the police, Commander Asare. So he's confirmed to the committee that these are the people that he was having the conversation with. Secondly, he has also confirmed that he was in that conversation as well with these two men. And as a matter of fact, the issues in conversation related to the conduct of IGP George Akuffo Dampare, Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, right. And that these two men, particularly Dr. COP Mensah, had come to him to lobby him to go speak to the president about making him COP Mensah the IGP, because Dr. George Akuffo Dampare is a guy in the NDC man. He used to be ADC to former President Mills, and if it continues this way, the NPP will lose the 2024 elections because IGP Akuffo Dampare is not in his camp. He has also confirmed that indeed the audio tape that is leaked, he is the architect of its recording, and that he got a special gadget from the Accra Mall, as he mentions before the committee, to record this conversation for the purposes of serving as evidence and proof if he goes to the president to relay the concerns of these policemen who came to him to ensure
Duke,
that he has evidence and he has proof. So these are some of the things he's been telling the committee.
Right. Duke Mensah Poku is my colleague who brought us updates. You're watching Midday Live. Business News is up next. Michael Obodu has all the latest in business news. Over to you, Michael.
Hello there. Good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment here on Midday Live. My name is Michael Obodu. Straight into our first story, as Fitch Solutions is projecting a relative stability in global crude oil prices at about $84 per barrel for the rest of the year. The projection, according to the research firm, is based on global economic shifts, including the impact of events like the Russia invasion of Ukraine. This report has the rest of the story. Global crude prices shot up to over $100 a barrel in 2022 due to the Russia-Ukraine war. However, prices have been relatively lower at about $80 a barrel this year. Ratings agency Fitch is predicting prices could remain around $84 a barrel for the rest of the year, attributing this to happenings on the global front. Energy analyst Dr. Yusuf Sulemana seems to agree with the forecast and has been providing more perspectives.
OPEC kingpin Saudi Arabia, they unilaterally announced 1 million barrel cuts, from the market, and Russia also followed suit. You remember, Russia is also, the leader in OPEC plus, and Russia is about number 3, followed by Saudi Arabia number 2, and US number 1 in terms of oil production globally. And so, if Russia and Saudi Arabia should unite in this way, in terms of oil supply cuts, then the impact in the market is just going to be felt drastically, and that's what is happening. So the policy rate hikes on one side, and then the increment in, the cuts, the continuous cuts by OPEC and OPEC plus on the other hand, is beginning to equilibrate. And if it stays like this, then we will likely see the oil in the 80s.
Dr. Sulemana is, however, concerned that the $80 region is still quite high and will cause inflation in the country to remain at worrying levels.
I think it is, the best for what the consumer pays at the pump. And bear in mind, whatever the consumer pays at the pump has direct impact on inflation. As long as we may not see rise in inflation, a rapid rise in inflation, with oil in the 80s, I don't expect us to see that massive drop or the drop that everybody expects to see in the inflation. So by what we could do as a nation, if you're a producer and an importer of finished product, like our market per se, the peculiar nature of our market, we have to work at a model where we are able to cascade some of the benefits, which are called the windfalls, that could potentially come from the upstream.
Now, as market watchers had predicted, government recorded an oversubscription in the latest Treasury bill auction held on Friday after missing its target at the previous auction. Interest rates on the market have also surged to about 31.24%. Government released about 3.2 billion cedis, representing a 5.6% oversubscription of its target. According to the auction results, a chunk of bids were from the 91-day bill, from which government realized about 2.4 billion cedis after accepting all bids that were tendered. For the 182 and 364-day bills, however, government did not accept all bids tendered. About 701.7 million cedis were accepted for the 182-day bills, although bids worth 717.5 million cedis were tendered. Also, government accepted 143.2 million cedis from the one-year bill, although 146.2 million were tendered. Interest rates continue to soar despite several concerns about the increasing cost of repaying the debt instruments. Government intends to borrow a little over 3 billion cedis through Treasury bills this week in order to meet its refinancing obligations. Now, the Tax Justice Coalition is calling on government to ensure the implementation of the tax exemptions law as a means of beefing up revenues. The group has further called for the review of some tax policies to mitigate its burden on the public.
We reaffirm our resolve and commitment to advocate a more progressive tax system for all to finance public goods and services. Call on government to revise the current structure of the VAT system and its computation, as it has a cascading effect on business and individuals. Urge the government to abolish the 21.9% tax on fees on distance learning and review its policy to tax the profit of the non-resident service providers. Urge the government to foster the implementation of the Exemptions Act 2022 Act 1083 to minimize tax exemptions to profit-making businesses, both local and foreign. Call on government to strive to tie the collection and payment of taxes to the provision of effective and efficient public services so as to improve on voluntary tax compliance. Call on government to amend the vehicle tax component to include the accommodation of public officers, as accommodation is also a benefit in kind.
Now, the Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative has urged government to treat the country's carried interest in the mining sector as a share of production in order to maximize revenue. Currently, the country's carried interest in the sector is tied to dividends. The implication is that if a mining company does not pay dividend, it means the country loses out on revenue. Apologies, we'll bring you that insert in our subsequent bulletins. That will be all for business here on Midday Live. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next, the sports.
Ready to win solid cash every day with Cash Out? Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia TV, Onia FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takoradi. To enter the Cash Out raffle on your favorite Media General station, just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
When the sun rises, there is hope. While this hope lingers on, the citizens look up to the government, the economy, the national development agenda, and everything in between.
On Ghana Tonight, it's our utmost priority to bring you insightful conversations on the economy, break down the biggest issues while setting the agenda for transformation and national development. The big and important stories are treated from the human interest angle, while the facts and the figures are painted with precision. So now, let's cut the convention and start the conversation here on Ghana Tonight. I am your host, Alfred Okamsi.
Ghana Tonight shows Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by
Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Get to win! What type of music did Louis Armstrong play?
Country music.
Which country? Which of these animals would Lali or Eko prefer for a pet? A parrot, a cat, or a bird? These animals.
I knew you were going to say what she
Here to Win shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Kill It Insecticide Spray.
Gino Tomato Mix.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Sports News is up next. Oreku Ampofo will bring us details in the unveiling of Ghanaian midfielder Mohamed Kudus. Oreku, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Crosby. And as we do know, Mohamed Kudus has officially joined West Ham and was unveiled over the weekend, with the former Ajax player speaking to the media for the very first time after his big money move.
Been dreaming to play in a league like this since I was a kid, so just taking each day by itself and just following my dream, and then we are here today. But it doesn't stop here. We keep writing history and then keep going. I like to entertain the fans because I feel that's what football is about. My dribbling ability, strength, finishing also, yeah. So I'm just here to do my best to help the team, So the fans should just expect some entertainment. All the fixtures, for me, yeah, they are bigger teams, stuff like that, but same mentality, you know, whether we are playing top of the league or bottom of, is the same approach for me in every game. So I'm looking forward to all the games, actually.
Yeah. Have you, as a player, have you set many goals or targets this year for yourself personally?
Yeah, I have personal goals. I mean, that was when I was at Ajax, but everything changed now. But so definitely we have to reschedule the goals and stuff like that. But definitely every year I have personal goals, not just football, but family projects and stuff like that, all around myself.
Real black star, no treason. Kudus, left foot to the
Well, Mohamed Kudus officially a hammer, but it might not be the end of moves for Ghanaian players in Europe because Lyon coach Laurent Blanc has confirmed that Enes Nuamah is with the team and that he will be ready to play against Paris Saint-Germain on Sunday. Nuamah is set to become the French side's most expensive player this summer in a deal which will be worth 30 million euros. The Ghanaian completed his medical test and all formalities involved last week after flying to France with his management from Denmark. However, he still hasn't been announced yet, although it is expected the Right to Dream graduate will be unveiled this week ahead of his move from FC Nordsjælland. Proceeding to the continental frontier in Africa, and Dreams FC staged a remarkable comeback to overcome Guinean side Milo FC to advance to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup preliminary round. Now, the Still Believe outfit came from behind to record a 2-1 victory over Milo FC, scoring in the final 10 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium in the second leg on Sunday. Elsewhere in Nigeria, Medeama advanced to the next round of the CAF Champions League qualifiers by winning a thrilling penalty shootout by 3-2 against Remo Stars after a 1-1 aggregate draw in regular time at the Remo Stars Stadium. To boxing, where a 57-year-old social entrepreneur has taken part in boxing against a 27-year-old heavyweight. The bout, in collaboration with the Wisdom Boxing Promotion, was to generate funds for the procurement of decks for 2 million Ghanaian children.
The match marked a significant milestone combining sportsmanship and social responsibility in an effort to enhance the education landscape for future generations. By partnering with Wisdom Boxing Promotion, this initiative aimed to set a precedent for innovative fundraising techniques that harness the power of sports to address critical societal needs. The bout highlighted the importance of collective effort in creating better opportunities for the next generation. The match not only captured the attention of boxing enthusiasts, but also resonated with those who prioritize education and the well-being of Ghanaian children.
As I prepared for just 20 minutes, 18 months preparation for just 20 minutes, I'm very thankful to God that this is all over. I'm happy for everyone who came, those who bought tickets, those who have donated. In about 2 months, in the last 2 months, I've raised almost 450,000 CDs, and we'll just continue raising more money.
The fundraising match demonstrated that age, background, and even physical challenges can be overcome when there is a shared purpose.
I'm really elated and I'm happy to have had the opportunity to promote this event as the matchmaker. This is like one of the, it's a unique show. We've never had something like this in Ghana. We would call it something like a celebrity boxing exhibition, and the cause that is working towards, that is raising money for furniture.
The commitment of both the social entrepreneur and the young heavyweight showcased the spirit of determination and a willingness to go beyond personal boundaries for a greater cause.
Well, that's how we'll be wrapping up the sports segment here on Midday Live. You can get some more sports stories on our social media handles at 3SportsGH. My name is Ore Kwampofo, and up next on the bulletin is Entertainment with Noella. Let's join Noella Donko for some entertainment news.
Over to
All
you.
right, now you're welcome to the entertainment news segment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Now, entertainment this afternoon, we talk about Ghana's Most Beautiful as the reality show witnessed its first eviction last night. Now, Northeast Region's representative Wuni, together with her Oti region counterparts Olela and Ohima from the Bono East, were shown the exit, leaving 13 contestants to battle for the ultimate. Here is a package of the night of how the night went down.
With every idea of an entrepreneurial journey starts with a unique one. So definitely we will be looking out for how unique the idea is.
It's another week on the nation's biggest beauty pageant, and of course it's Ghana's Most Beautiful. And tonight the ladies are looking at their entrepreneurial abilities and business ideas they can come up with, and also to impress the judges. Let's see how the performances went by.
This nugget, if used, is a complete seasoning for all our foods. Round in shape, rich in taste, a preservation of our traditional flavors. I present to you Dawa Nuggets.
You are free to enjoy yourself. Say Chawanu. Chawanu. Yes, with a sum of 600 Ghana cedis, I can make a pieces of 400 Ghana cedis, which make me a profit of 1,600 Ghana cedis weekly.
So after all was said and done, Nayele from the Greater Accra region emerged as star performer for the night for her technological innovation, which had to do with female health and also making sure that ladies have the chance to talk to someone when they have difficulties regarding their health.
Femtech Solutions is the go-to app for all women to talk to health professionals at any time of day via our active call lines. It is for all classes of females to join just by downloading the FMS app onto your phones.
And ultimately, we have a star performer for the night. What do you think did the magic for you?
I would say it's good because we all had beautiful ideas. So I just did my best and left the rest to God, and He glorified Himself.
And you have been nominated a couple of times for this particular award. How was the feeling like even before your name was mentioned?
There was some anxiety, a level of anxiety, because I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, like you said, it's a very tough night. So when my name was mentioned, I was like, oh, glory to God.
And also another lady who stood out on the night for the most eloquent category was Amwinima. What did you put in your performance that won you this award?
Actually, before the performance, I was really nervous. So I went to the washroom and prayed. I told God that, God, I'm putting in my best. May you do the rest for me. And as I went on stage, I delivered. And
I started my business, Market on Wheels. At Market on Wheels, we basically shop for groceries and deliver it to our customers at their convenience.
Then the eviction bell rang for the night, and sadly, we had to say goodbye to Olila, Ohima, and Wuni. To them, the competition has been a life-changing one, and they are going home with so many memories from the pageant.
We have gifts for them from Tara Cosmetics. House of Tara is saying goodbye to them.
And this has been our package for you from the camp of GMB. Make sure that you keep voting for your favorite contestant. The short code is *713 *13# to keep your favorite in the competition.
Well, 7 weeks down, quite a number to go, and that is a wake-up call for you to vote for your favorite and keep them in the competition by dialing *713 *13# or downloading the TV3 Reality app from the Play Store or App Store. That's it for entertainment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Up next is international news.
In international news this afternoon, Libya's foreign minister has been accused for treason after informally meeting with her Israeli counterpart, a move that has sparked protests in the North African country. Now, Israel is working to build closer ties with Arab and Muslim majority countries which do not officially recognize it. However, Libya's Presidential Council, which represents its 3 provinces, said it was illegal to normalize relations with Israel. The Speaker's office in Parliament has accused Ms. Magnush of grand treason, and Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dieba has referred to her for investigations. But that's how we wrap up on the Midday News Bulletin here on TV3, also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. My name is Noble Crosby, and thank you so much for watching the bulletin. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Welcome to ENT3. Ghanaian rapper and musician Famia made a shocking revelation over the weekend on The Day Show with Berlamundi. In his submission of